Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. Welcome to an episode of today's Best Stock Picks. It's April 6th, 2021, a Tuesday morning. Well, we hit new all-time highs in the SPY yesterday. We have just a tiny little thing that we want to talk about today that could be throwing a little bit of a wrench into this really good, clean rally. We're going to talk about three industry groups, two that are on fire right now, one that has lost all of its mojo, one that's about to rally, or at least we think it's setting up to rally. And of course, we're going to talk about Apple today. Apple finally joining the tech rally in the slightest way. We're going to take a look and see the downtrend that it's been in. We're going to see the box that it went in and the possibility of it finally joining the party, and something that Tim Cook said yesterday that has the world abuzz. It's going to be interesting to see. We'll take a look at that headline as well. One other stock as well that got FDA approval yesterday that we're going to take a look at, got massive volume yesterday, sold off after the news, but we're going to keep it in our watch list today just because volume, you got to follow the smart money. If yesterday was a little bit of profit taking, we're going to hop back in there today and see if we get some volume. So stick around. We'll be right back. Okay, first and foremost, we're going to hop right over into the ideas. We're going to look at the SPY ETF. We're going to look at the last 7 days in the SPY ETF. And then more importantly, even if you're not day trading, there's something that I want to point out to you yesterday that we mentioned yesterday that should be something that you pay attention to on a regular basis. All right, we're going to head on over to the charts. We're going to take a look first at the SPY. And you can see here, amazing, right? Great price action. Down here, we actually bounced off significant support. Higher level, we bounced off higher level support. We actually traded into here, which we call a bullish U-turn. Bullish U-turn then led to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive days, 2 bullish gaps in a row, 3 bullish gaps in the last 7 days, leading into new all-time highs. Everything looked good yesterday. And dare I say, yesterday, if you were in the boot camp, probably the most stress-free day that we've had in weeks. We got bullish movement. We got follow-through. We got very few pullbacks. Overall, just a really, really good day yesterday. In the swing trading community, we actually activated 5 more swing trades yesterday. So now what? What's going on now? So we're going to point out something on the shorter term charts that it's something that active traders are very aware of. Looking at the volatility index, and something that just didn't make sense yesterday is the VIX going higher as the market is also going higher. Now, if you don't know anything about the VIX, it's the fear index. The CBOE volatility index, this is the S&P 500. Basically, the charts run exactly the same. So what happens is when the VIX, I'm actually going to come back on the screen here for 1 second. When the VIX is rallying, when the VIX is going up, that means option market makers are pricing in higher prices. They're pricing in higher volatility. And generally speaking, when the VIX goes higher, the market should go down. Yesterday, that did not happen. The VIX was going higher while the market was still going higher. And generally speaking, again, this is not an absolute. This is more of a trading experience thing, and definitely something to pay attention to. When the VIX goes higher and the market goes higher, they're pricing it in, which means that there's going to be short-term profit taking, should be short-term profit taking over the next 3 to 5 days. And we're seeing that a little bit this morning. So that was really fun, actually, to call in the boot camp while it was unfolding live. A couple of our members said this doesn't make sense. And I said, yeah, it actually does make sense. It just doesn't happen to the moment. So what do you do in that moment? You're aware of it. You don't size up on your positions. You expect a little bit of a pause or a pullback, which is quite honestly not that surprising. The SPY is now up 7 days in a row where it's closed above the open. Really good, strong price action. Taking a little bit of pressure off of that, not a big deal. We're set to open a little bit lower across the futures markets right now. But that doesn't mean we're going to stay there. In a bullish market, lower openings are usually buying opportunity. So you need to have your intraday tape reading skills on hand for when it's safe to jump in and start to buy some new opportunities as day trade. So write that down and watch that. The VIX, I'll give you a list so you can take a snapshot of that again. The VIX rallying with the market rallying is not what's supposed to happen, and that usually predicts a reversal, okay? So next we're talking about Apple. Apple shares gain again as Tim Cook drops hints of an autonomous car. Look, this is not a new conversation. However, what is new is what's happening on the price charts. If we hop on over to Apple, this is pretty interesting. Like a lot of the stocks that we've been noticing since the beginning of the year, that have been in downtrends. Technology stocks specifically have been getting hit on the interest rate conversations, the chip shortage, right? Apple went down with the rest of them. However, what Apple did not do is rally recently and the same ferocity that the Qs and a lot of other technology stocks have. But here's the deal. Once you understand tape reading, once you understand how to put stocks in their proper place, in other words, is it trending? Is there bullish order flow? Is there bearish order flow? Is that the right price? That was the right price for Apple for quite a long time. And we're talking about, and again, relative, right? For the better part of 6 weeks. Now, however, Apple broke out and everybody's getting excited about it. It looks like it's finally ready to join. However, taking the tape reading a little bit deeper, and this is what you need to do. You can't be lazy. You have to jump in. Apple did go up and break out on higher volume, but it's still significantly lower than what it normally does. So it's a start. It's exciting. It's something to consider. Start initiating a new position, looking for a new trade. And we're going to actually talk about what the price level would be in a second and whether or not it's actually worth putting on a new piece right now. It's not enough. If anything, I'd be looking to put on my first piece, and then if and when we get confirmation with higher volume and what we call well-bid candlesticks, which are higher highs and higher lows, then I'd consider adding. Just because it's Apple doesn't mean you jump in and like, yeah, get me full share size. That's not good trading. What I do want to point out, though, is the size of this move. We've been kind of obsessed lately with using Fibonacci retracement levels in the boot camp recently. We've been talking a lot about the 50% retracement level. If we go from 144 to 116, so we have 26, 36, 46, that's $28 from here to here. Half of $28 is 14. When you add 14 to 116, then you're looking at 130. So you're talking about right up in this area is a 50% retracement, which means that there's only $4.50 left on a 50% retracement from 116. So that's another reason, and again, a much deeper dive into what it really means to be a good trader is you would not size up at all there because the short-term profit potential is only $4. So you're really initiating the trade in two pieces, expecting it to pause around 130, and then if it takes off, it's the next trade. So there's a lot to consider here in Apple. I will tell you this, autonomous cars, very interesting conversation. Very exciting that Apple finally woke up, for lack of a better way of putting it. But one day on lighter volume is not enough. I will be looking to put on my first piece, but then follow that scenario I just outlined as far as when to add the second piece. Ultimately, we'd like to see it get up to 138. We've had 138 twice as our target. And you can see here, it got hit after we bought it in the 120s. Rallied up here again, got up there. This pause we're expecting to follow through. It did not. So really the 138 levels is really the next significant target after the 130 retracement. Next, we're going to talk about Nano-X technology. NNOX receives FDA clearance. We'll just show you what happened on the chart yesterday. I'll post the link actually below. You can see it had a monster move yesterday. It closed up 17.5%. And that's after it got hit pretty hard after the open. So very similar to a lot of these stocks, the profit taking came in, sellers came in right away. Again, if you're day trading, if you're not day trading, there was really no time during the day today, yesterday, where there was, hey, let's jump in there. Now the buyers have stepped back in. If we go to the hourly chart, you can see here as well, every single hour either had lower lows, lower highs, or barely went green at all. So yesterday was not the day to get involved. Today, if we find a bid, despite the fact that we're opening up a little bit lower again today, if we find a bid today and if intraday volume is good, especially that first 15 minutes, we will look at this as an active day trade, not meeting the longer term criteria for order flow. Making our way into some other sectors, we're going to be focusing on the cannabis stocks. Cannabis stocks actually coiling. We're actually going to look at them on the weekly chart to give you a better perspective. You can see that the trading ranges are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So we're going to focus on GRWG. We're going to focus on Tilray in our game plan today. And you can see Tilray now consolidating, and CGC. I want to make it clear. They're not ready yet, but the same way that we've been watching the Qs over the last few weeks, price action just kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And from that price action comes an expansion and volatility. So as price gets bigger, you start to pause and then you get bigger again. So what we're seeing right now in the cannabis stocks is we're seeing they're contracting, and they're basically coiling for their next big move. So even if it doesn't trigger today, they should be in your radar, and you can see this really well on the weekly charts. One sector that is not in play right now that is actually setting up as a potential sell short is the energy sector. The energy sector was on fire for a while, basically from November through the end of February. March hit, stopped, ran out of gas, no pun intended. We're going to take a look at those stocks now as well. So let's head on over to the charts. Specifically in the energy sector, we are going to be taking a look at the bigger stocks that you would think that would be paying attention to, which is Oxy. And you can see here, even on the weekly charts, they've broken down. But let's take a look at the daily charts. You can see Oxy actually, which was super obvious from November, again, through the end of February into March. And we called this in our sector rotation plays a while back. Oxy broke down yesterday. PXD broke down yesterday. COP broke down yesterday. So a lot to not like in that sector right now. We're also going to take a look at communication services and technology stocks. So we're actually going to take a look at where are we going to go? We're going to go over to Facebook, which has been in our list for a while. You can see we're actually drawing potential new potential levels. Let me actually get that off the screen there for now. So Facebook broke out. You can see the new levels here at Facebook. T-Mobile actually has been one that we haven't watched in a while, but the last 5 days, again, success leaves clues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strong days. Now it broke the longer term downtrend here, didn't hold it, but now we have this 134 level. So because it's not, it doesn't have a lot of room to go. Now we're only looking at the next level as far as 134. So this would be what we call a bullish echo. I'd be looking to day trade it into 134 and then swing trade it over 134. Two other ones that popped up that we discussed, Electronic Arts, ATVI, also waking up recently, and Match.com. So we got quite a few of them. Match.com is kind of lagging here. It's still in this. If we draw this out here, it hasn't cracked the downtrend like the other two did, EA, Facebook, T-Mobile, and ATVI. Match.com has some room to go, but the last couple of days have shown some promise. So there's actually quite a bit going on right now. There's really no other way to say it. Hitting all-time highs is exciting. If you don't start to get back involved, if you got beat up mentally a little bit in March, if you don't get back involved and the market's making new all-time highs and making new all-time highs with volume, I'm not sure when you would. So we got a little bit of aggressive yesterday. We put on a first piece of new swing trades yesterday, all of them, except for one, which pulled back and took us out at a break-even trade. We got follow through yesterday. So today's lower opening, we're still looking for longs. I still like the long side. Energy stocks weak, cannabis stocks coiling, technology stocks still going, and communication services that we just gave you are starting to perk up in a big way right now as well. Keep an eye on those energy stocks. If you're an experienced trader and they continue to roll over, there's absolutely a short sale setting up in there over the next week or two. So if you have any questions, definitely click down and subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. Give us a thumbs up too if you like the video. And if you have any questions, definitely leave a comment below the video too. I'd love to hear from you. Keep an eye on that Apple volume. 130 is the 50% retracement level. 138 is the first target. We need to see a follow through today. We need to see well bid, higher highs, higher lows, and have volume. If we do, let's start getting aggressive. All right. Have a great day, everybody. I'll speak to you soon.